Chapter 1. This doesn't concern either of you two. Leave, a raving man screamed. Movement behind me startled my thoughts. It was the older gentleman, who made off faster than what I would have expected. I went to move too, but caught myself. I turned back to the woman who was all alone in the crowd of people that openly hated her. I didn't want to stay. Everything inside of me hollered to get out. Leave the animal to kill her to answer her own sins, someone screamed. Answer to your dark sins, doctor. We know what you did, someone else yelled. You should go, the woman whispered out, meeting my eyes for a second before dropping them to the dirty pavement. That made my mind up, but I was going to have to pretend to be someone else for this job, though. If traveling alone had taught me anything, it was adaptability and survival. This was a boss fight, though. I would have to bring my A game. What's your fucking beef, bitch? I yelled all cocky-like at the woman accosting us. My speech was slow and meticulous, each word cutting. I had wanted to leave. The woman had told me to. That's all it took. Others in my situation would have gone, leaving this woman to her own defense. I was different. Here was the proof. Others from the bus stopped to stare. My heart beat faster. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I could feel that something was going down. The crowd around us grew, feeling the same thing as me. Don't you dare talk to a respectable young lady in my congregation like that again. The man that stepped forward was burly and serious. Jack, leave the boy alone. He has nothing to do with this. The lady behind me addressed the giant of a man. I usually would never let things get this far. I don't like to be noticed. But I never had friends to stick up for or get in fights with before. I wasn't sure why I had let things go so far this time, but I felt empathy for the older woman. However, if I was totally sincere, I would admit that I kind of liked it. If it didn't scare the shit out of me, being this outnumbered. Don't address me like we're friends, filth. You brought this unnecessary pain into our beloved city. It was good when you left. I thought we made it clear you ain't welcome back, the giant, Jack, menacingly shot back. I wasn't one to confront trouble, but I had adopted a certain city slang in order to come across thug, like I was tougher than I appeared. It helped save my skin a few times. I hoped this would be like those past times. I wasn't stupid, though. You couldn't hope your way through situations. You had to learn and grow. My past confrontations may have ended badly for me, but this time I was going to bite back. I don't know why this hate group was so upset with the woman I was sticking up for, but at this point, I didn't give a shit if she had killed animals. Whatever that meant, this was no way to exact justice. What can I say? I have a weak spot for underdogs. I took in the group that I had counted 11, but now seemed so many more. I even noticed people gathering to watch from across the street. I guess everyone wants a show. All right. I looked to my side quickly. Lucretia. My name's Lucretia, the older woman whispered. Let Lucretia and I go. The police are going to notice a confrontation like this. I tried to sound confident. Very revealing. Jack rubbed his square jawline with his right hand, evaluating me. What did I say? The pigs ain't likely to come bother us. Not us. He snarled. His cronies laughed with him. You ain't from around here, and you don't know the death doctor. What business do you have in our city? Marked as an outsider in 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. By half the population. So much for starting a new life over here. I would just have to catch the next Greyhound out of here. Cover stories weren't usually hard for me to come by, but with a large number leering down at me, it was nearly impossible. What was I doing here? Honestly. Loose-minded and siding with the enemy. I should have expected as much, just from looking upon you. You may bear the skin of God's chosen, but you ain't one. The barrel-chested man breathed out, the insult coming to his summons effortlessly. Stupid or not, outnumbered or not, intimidated or not, I was getting freaking irritated at the way this man came across so condescendingly. What did he think he was? The mayor? Shit, what if he was the mayor? It shouldn't matter. This wasn't legal. My aunt is involved in NPR in New York City. I will broadcast what kind of injustice is going on here. and you will have the press breathing down your neck as soon as you leave your double-wide trailers. I lied. We are God's chosen people. You will bow to us one day, the raving man from before hollered, totally lost in his beliefs. Jack held the smaller man back. There, Paul. No use trying to explain it to the damned. My face flushed with heat. He clearly meant me. Animal slaughterer. A few shrieked out. Take your own poison, Death Doctor. It started with one, but several chanted it too. I was about to say something when Jack stepped forward. Enough talk. And planted his meaty fist into my right eye socket. Spinning, I hit the ground. You devils should be ashamed of yourselves. You're what's wrong with the world today, the woman screamed, empowered by me being on the ground. This is it. A classic survival scene from my life. Fight or flight. Game on. It was like playing Russian roulette, only this time the odds were greater and the outcome not instant, but a slow, creeping realization. I spit blood onto the pavement where I had come to rest. Distracting my movements with my right hand, I made it seem as if I was struggling to support myself. Secretly, my left hand fumbled with a hidden knife compartment. I had designed it myself in the bottom of my backpack. From the angle I was at, though, too much weight was being put on it from inside, so I wouldn't be able to grab it and hide my motions. Like a good Eagle Scout, though, I'm prepared. Plan B. Lucretia came over to help me, holding her hands to her mouth, when I jumped up and abandoned the act. Using my left hand to reach into my right strap of the backpack, I removed a hidden thin metal strip used to break into cars and homes. With fingers deftly holding the strips of metal, ignoring the cut it was giving me, I slashed out at my attacker. The strip wobbled in the air a little, and instead of going for his face, it sliced the line across his neck and jawline. Blood sprayed out as the strap raced through the air. I drew blood. I may have been jumped before, but that didn't mean I was used to doing the beating. I faltered back. The man grabbed his neck. Did I just kill him? Grab the faggot! He hurt Jack! I looked down at the end of the metal. Only the very tip of the corner had any blood on it. I looked back up as Lucretia screamed and I went down. Someone had grabbed me from behind, latching onto my backpack. Nothing I wasn't prepared for. I had completely customized my bag to my purpose. It literally couldn't be replaced in the whole world. I pulled the tucked-away cord, and both straps on the bag unattached themselves from the top of the backpack, untangling me. I pulled free, the man going down in a crumple with my possessions. Unplugging my headphones, I quickly clamped on a weighted razor that I had fit to the end of my rope like earbuds. Securely locked in, I swung it around me, clearing a circle about 9 feet wide. I had intentionally got the longest cord I could find. Music pumped out of my front pants pocket. It was a defect in my cell phone. It should stop when my headphones were removed. I was glad that they didn't this time. Hunched down in the middle of a clear circle, surrounded by enemies, in a brand new city to be exact. With music blaring from my pocket, I held back the crowd. Sweat poured down from my face now, from nerves as much as adrenaline. Lucretia wailed again. They were trying to pull her away while I was distracted. I will admit, I felt in my element. Thinking on my feet is my favorite way to make decisions. You can't have regret, just hindsight. Lucretia was struggling, kicking her legs, skirt flying. But there were 2 men and a woman yanking her. I reached for my pocket knife from my sprawled-out bag, revealing its hiding spot, and hucked it. I am not much of a shot, and it wasn't even a knife meant to be thrown, but it worked. First, it collided, butt end near the temple, on the asshole woman's face, who first accosted us, and then second, cut the man next to her on its descent. Lucretia pulled free and sprayed the last man in the face with what I presume was pepper spray, as he cried out in sheer agony. Loud foot crunching sounded from my 6 o'clock. I whipped my razor cord out behind me and felt it catch something. I spun around and yanked the cord back. More blood came with it. A man went down, holding his leg above the knee. I had taken out a chunk. I swallowed back my small victory as 3 more from the crowd surged forward. They seemed never-ending. Where are the police in this damn town? I braced for the next onslaught as a gunshot went off. My heart virtually stopped. I dropped to the ground. I wasn't hit, I didn't think. I only heard a gunshot like this once before, in a similar situation, and it ended in death. My mind flashed back to it. A second, and then quickly a third shot rang out. The crowd quickly dispersed, everyone running around in chaos, screaming, fleeing, panicking. The worst possible thing you could do. My face paled, my body went limp. Memories flashed before my senses, not just sight. I could hear the moment all over again. Smell it, feel it, taste it. My mind welled up. I was useless. Suddenly I was dragged. By whom and to where I was uncertain. The only thing that I know I did was grab my bag. If my life meant anything, what was inside was it. As a full panic attack took hold, someone scrambled me to safety, ducking me from car to car. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that reading of the first chapter of the DOSCO Files Induction, Part 1. Go ahead and leave some comments and feedback below. Also, go ahead and check my Twitter and Instagram. Those I update pretty frequently, and I love to hear from you guys. Alright, have a great day.